Hey guys, welcome back to Roax, my lifestyle channel. I am so excited, but also a little overwhelmed and anxious about sitting down and doing this video. I have vlogged like 3 weekly vlogs and then like erased all of it. It's just, I would start it and then it wouldn't go anywhere. And I was left with just tons of uncompleted vlog footage. So instead, I thought that I would take a step back for a little bit, but I really miss creating and staying steady creating here. So instead of just taking a break from weekly vlogs, I thought I would jump back into some of my just full part videos because I think that's what's going to work for me right now with the type of schedule I have going on. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to be talking about some of the things I've been up to. You guys can check out my Instagram and other YouTube channel for makeup details and all of that. I will have my links down below in the description, but I filmed my little outfit of the day that you guys would have seen already the other day, and so since I'm wearing my Lavon calf wrap again today, I thought that I would kind of mimic that outfit of the day for this video, but show you guys in the beginning. I love this calf wrap so much. It is so soft, and I love like the like cinches, if that's what you call them, on these sleeves. It just makes it look so flattering. And then I'm rocking some jewelry today. These 2 rings were just like pieces that I have just randomly bought. Nothing like too bougie or anything. This ring, I wish I could remember exactly where it's from. If I can find it, I will link it down below, but I got it in a FabFitFun, I believe, a long time ago, and it's just become one of my absolute favorite rings. It is 2 pearls on a kind of open ring, so it can like literally fit any finger, and you can like, you know, size it to different fingers. It's really nice, but I love it. I love pearls so much. And then just a band for my wedding ring today. I kind of switch it up a lot because this hand at the moment is suffering from some eczema. So I am winding down tonight, and I have some projects I want to show you guys that I've been working on, and then also some of my reading picks. But I hope you guys all had a good Valentine's. I have beautiful roses for my husband in the background, and I also have one of my pieces back there that I finished for Valentine's Day that I am super excited about. I'm also going to be making a drink tonight. It's a little late because Valentine's Day is already over, but I thought it would be still fun to do a little Bloody Valentine drink for the month of February.
I was really fucking hoping to be different this year. I don't wanna look like this. Fuck. I don't wanna feel like this. Fuck. Wish I didn't miss her so much. Knew that this would happen. Fuck. Love.
So while I still have been doing makeup and journaling and, you know, all of those different things, I recently have picked up a new hobby influenced by my sister, which I'm going to link her channel down below because she is incredible. Her videos are always like so satisfying to watch, and she is addicted. She has fallen into the hole of cross-stitching like myself. So I thought I would show you some of the pieces that I have completed. I've only completed 2 since I've started this little hobby, but I'm working on another one. I already have it started and going. I'm in the process of it, and then I have plans for a couple others as well. So I was going to show them today. So my first project was Ghostface. I was so excited. I did this one back originally when Scream 5 hit theaters. It was like right on the mark of getting this one done, and I can say I really like how it turned out. This was my first project, so I felt like it was a decent size for my first one, but also on the lighter side because there's not like too many shades. I believe there was 7 shades of floss total, so it wasn't like too bad. But it definitely was a learning experience of getting into this, but I was so excited seeing Ghostface come to life, and I don't have it on anything right now. I'm like looking for some cute frames because I want to fill up this wall, and then I have like another 2 walls I kind of want to like fill up with some stuff. So I'm in the market now. I really want to thrift some frames. So yeah, for now he's not really on anything. I still need to, I'm so new to this too and very rusty on like the learning process. So it's gonna take some time. This is not perfect by no means, and the back is horrendous. And I also, the only other mistake though, like for my first time, like it really was not bad. I can give myself props for that. The only thing is I think I maybe skipped a stitch or two. There is some black stitches that you can't really see very well, but I believe when I looked at her design or her pattern, it may have went up like a little bit more. I think I made his mouth a little too long, but it's still Ghostface and I still absolutely love it. I think it was such a cute first project to do, my little ode to Ghostface. But any of these patterns I will link down below for you guys if you guys want to check them out. So far, every shop I've ordered from has been like incredible messaging, making sure like the project is going well and everything, and I really appreciate that. But this shop was absolutely amazing. Like, she reached out and loved how it turned out and was just super sweet. But I did kind of film a little bit of the process on this one, so I will show you guys that. You can also check it out on my Instagram to kind of see the reel put together a little bit more with some scream audio. But I absolutely love it. I think it was a really cute first one to do. Only other challenge that I had with it, and I think why the mouth was maybe a little bit lower than it was what it was supposed to, was for my first project, it was rather tricky learning to stitch, because I believe I've done some cross stitching a long time ago when I was really little, but I think I was like so little that I may have helped do like a couple stitches and was like, all right, and kind of moved on to something else. So my first time actually learning this, I knew the gist of it, but not a whole lot, and I'm still learning. It was rather tricky doing my first one on the black Ada. A little tricky.
I don't wanna look like this, fuck. I don't wanna feel like this, fuck. Wish I didn't miss her so much. Knew that this would happen, fuck. Love, break a mirror, yeah, fucking break a mirror. Glass shatter, gums bleed off the fucking never clear. Eyes red, mind race, fucking wish that you were here. I was really fucking hoping it'd be different.
So the next one that I started that I am still currently working on is my Beetlejuice. It was a nice change of pace going from black to white Ada. And I think these are the same count. I think I think the pattern is 14 count. So nothing like really new there, but just a huge difference from going from a black sheet to a white one for sure. What I like about this one too is that it was a very relaxing one. I was a little stressed out with doing my first ever lettering, but I think it turned out like really, really good. Obviously, this is not a finished project. I'm still working on it. There is still a lot to do. I will throw up what the design looks like. So I still have the sandworm and the rest of the words to finish, but I feel like it was a good starting point. And then I got a little sidetracked, but I'm excited to come back to it soon. I like that it's just like a handful of color. It's like just pretty much black and white all the way through until you get to like the head of the sandworm. And then I think there's like a red, a turquoise, and a yellow shade. So it's another one that has like very little color. And I feel like those are just easier ones to just kick back and just, you know, go at it. You don't have to like really, really think too hard on those. Unlike this, where it doesn't look like too many colors, but there's so much detail in the colors of it. I'm really, really excited to get back on the Beetlejuice one and hopefully finish it sometime in March, I think is what my goal is for it. But I did hit pause on it because I wanted to do a design for Valentine's Day. Yes, all of mine are just kind of in these little holders. None of them are framed because, like I said, I'm in the market for some frames. But I really liked how it turned out. I got this design off of Etsy as well. But the funny thing about it is I was wanting my whole like aesthetic, my mood board in my journal for this month was kind of like Bloody Valentine. So I was like, how cute would that be? Because I seen this photo. I throw it up. I seen this photo and I was like, that's like a vibe. And it actually ended up being a photo in my mood book page and my February journal section. And so I was like, it'd be really cool to do like a cross stitch of that because I feel like it would be like a good filler for my wall eventually when I have all these done, because I want like a lot of horror cross stitch like in an area. So I thought it'd be like really cute for Valentine's Day as well. And I jumped out of doing a more simple one head first into this one, and there was a few different difficult steps with this because, for one, I thought it was going to be a lot smaller. Like I said, I'm like brand new to this, so I feel like I'm not an expert. So I did not realize I thought I had looked at the measurements and I thought it was going to be quite a bit smaller than this size right here. I still love how it turned out, but I was like a little in over my head because I started it thinking that maybe I could just like cut a portion of this off. So I actually started and got quite a bit of it done down here. I need to cut this off, but I got quite a bit started down here and realized I have no idea even how I did this because I normally try to calculate it being in the middle and stuff, but I just thought, oh, it's going to be smaller so I can just start it, you know. I think the idea was to start it like this. So this is a side, and the more I worked, I was like, I'm not even going to be able to finish this edge. I just miscalculated altogether. It's a trial and error, but this was definitely an error on my part, and I had to restart it. But nonetheless, it turned out really, really good. This is what I did with the design. It was my first time kind of tweaking the design too. The actual design looks like this. She has like a couple, or this shop has a couple different options that are pretty funny. But I decided that I just kind of wanted to go with just the, you know, dripping heart and not have any words on the inside of it. And I feel like I achieved it pretty well. I went with the black background versus like a gray so that I didn't really have to worry about like the missing wording or whatever. And the heart does look a little crooked, but I feel like it just kind of goes into play with everything else going on with the design. I overall really like it. I like how it turned out. I'm happy with it. But it is a lot bigger than what I thought it was originally going to be, and it was quite the process trying to rush, and I feel like I almost burnt myself out at one point with it because I wanted it done by Valentine's Day so bad that I really pushed myself with it, even some nights when I was like kind of tired and not really in the mood. So at one point I did start to feel a little bit burnt out, and I actually haven't cross-stitched the last 2 nights because of that.
No quiero estar aquí. Woe is me, lapel tu feet. She still want me. Say la vie. I can't even leave my place without hiding my face.
The next two, I have the patterns, but I have not started yet. One of them is actually going to be a very, very late Valentine's present for my husband. My husband is a teacher, and his whole classroom is decorated Friends theme. And he kind of laughed at first when I got into cross stitching. He jokes about like all of my hobbies of wanting to journal and read and cross stitch and do different things like that, and you know, throws those old lady jokes around. But once I started cross stitching, he realized how cool it actually was and was like, oh my god, I want you to do one for my classroom. So I did surprise him showing him the design already that I picked for him, but my kitchen is actually decorated Friends theme, and then his classroom is decorated Friends theme. So I eventually want to do some type of design for my kitchen as well. But I thought that this one was a really cool one for a classroom because it's just a big design and collage of tons of aspects from the show. So I'm really excited to start it. I'm a little intimidated by it for sure because it's a bigger project with a lot going on. I think there was like around 27 different floss shades. So yeah, there's a lot going on with this one. But this is the next one that I'm going to get started on. And I think I'll even kind of go back and forth just so I don't get burnt out. Go back and forth on the Friends and this one until it's done. For the month of March. And I'm hopefully going to be able to like really power through them both and get them done. But I'm really excited to see how it turns out. It's probably going to be the biggest project I've done so far with cross-stitching, but I'm really excited for it. And I think it being Friends theme is really going to help like get me going with it. But also I'm going to have to like put Friends on and watch Friends while I cross-stitch it. The last one, I actually bought this design a while back. It was like one of my first designs that I purchased. It was just a simpler design, and I was like, yeah, that would be really good to like practice on. It was going to be like my first one, and then I was like, I can't wait. Like Scream 5 is coming out. I want to do Ghostface really bad, so I skipped on this one, and then somehow I have continued to skip it each time, even though it's probably the simplest pattern I have. I was really upset when I took all of my Halloween bats down from my beauty space after Halloween, so I thought it'd be really cool to kind of have bats back in my space. So yeah, I got this design from the shop Little Gray Bat, and I'm really excited to get this one done. I think it is super cute. I love bats, and I think the pattern will look perfect with all the other things that I have going on and really tie into the creepy and like horror cross stitches. So that one will probably be another side one that I do after I get done. I do want to finish this one first while I'm also in the process of the Friends one, kind of go back and forth between those two, but then once I'm done with this one, maybe jump into the Bat one while I'm also working on the Friends one too. But it's been a nice little refresh. Something that is very different from the other hobbies that I have been doing. I'm hoping it kind of opens up the door for more. I'd love to try my hand at knitting again or crocheting. I did end up buying a pattern for a sweater and then got very overwhelmed at the moment, so I'm going to be putting that off for a little bit. But I'm excited to be trying new things and picking up some, maybe even some older hobbies as well.
I ain't even got friends, feel like everyone's fake. Really praying for the day the Reaper take me away. Break a mirror, yeah, fucking break a mirror. Glass shattered, gums bleed off the fucking never clear. Eyes red, mind race, fucking wish that you were here. I was really fucking hoping it'd be different this year. I don't wanna look like this, fuck. I don't wanna feel like this, fuck. Wish I didn't miss her so much. Knew that this would happen, fuck. Love.
If you want the details on this cherry gen, I will have it linked down below in my blog. You can check it out there and make your own. Reading has stayed pretty consistent over the past month or so, or since the new year. I have been very, very consistent. I actually have a recent reads wrapping up all the books, which was not very many, just a handful that I read the entire of last year. It was just not my year for reading, but I do have all of those books in that blog if you guys want to check it out. I did read some good ones. I started off the year a little rocky, and then towards the end I read some good ones and also some comfort reads as well. So it's a good blog if you guys want to check it out. I jumped into the new year wrapping up some books, and then I jumped headfirst into The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The majority of my books I have been reading on my Kindle. It's just a little bit easier for me with when I find the time to read to just grab it and not worry about looking for a certain book. I have them all here because I'm a multi-reader. I like to have like a couple of easy reads going. I like to have usually a bigger read that I kind of call like my savory read. I kind of just read on it sparingly and really savor it. And also book clubs if I'm ever following any. And right now I'm just in one. I kind of want to branch out to some other ones, but usually when I do that, it backfires on me a little bit. So I'm kind of like halting the brakes on that at the moment because my to be read list is so long. But yeah, I started the year with The Fault in Our Stars. I have never read anything from John Green, so it was kind of a FOMO feeling, like, what am I missing here? And I've heard both good and not so great ratings, especially now after I read it, because I didn't want any spoilers. But now I've been going through like my Goodreads account, and after, you know, like I review the book myself, I like to go in and kind of see what other people thought of the book. And there was a lot of people that were very harsh about this one, but others who were kind of like on the same page as me, and then others who really, really loved it. It's not that I dislike this book, I think it was a heavier read for me to pick up at the beginning of my year, for one. That was on me. But I've never seen the movie or anything, so I kind of knew a little bit of the gist of what was going to happen in the book or what the book was about, but going into it, I still was pretty blind as far as knowing like more of the details with it. And if you didn't know, I'm sure you do. I feel like I was just kind of like in the dark on this one, but pretty much all of the main characters have cancer or have maybe recovered or in remission from cancer. And it's heavy in that area. And if you're like me and you've had a lot of family members who have had cancer, who have passed from cancer, it's a little bit of a heavy read. Regardless, it just kind of brought me back to a lot of moments. But besides that, I don't think it was like a terrible read. I feel like the end needed more. I also really longed to like the characters, but I had like a really hard time with it. I just kind of found myself confused with some of their like thinking process. But again, these are teenagers who are going through some really, really hard things that life just kind of threw their way. And I really wish that they would have built up a little bit more on some of the characters in a way that you got to be, I mean, you were very personal, but I feel like a lot of it is just like their cancer story and not much more about them, where I would have liked to know a lot more than what was given. So like 2 years ago, I read part 1 of The Six by Samantha March, and it is Christy, that's what it's called. So it's a group of 6 girlfriends who are navigating life. They're, you know, it's after college. They're all like in their like late 20s. So it's kind of like where like I'm at in life as far as like age wise. So I thought it would be like a good series to kind of just pick up and kind of be like a light read. And it reminds me a lot of like a grown-up Babysitter's Club. I mean, like minus the babysitting, but it's just a group of girlfriends who like to have fun, but there's of course cattiness and there's drama, and they all have something that they're going through that at some point they share with the group. It's kind of that vibe, and at the same time, it's kind of like a cross between like Babysitter's Club meets Desperate Housewives. It's definitely that. I have found them to be a little bit more of an easy, light read more than anything. The nosy side of me, it kind of craves to know what happens in their lives or how things are going to unravel and how things are going to fall. So yeah, the first one, you get kind of a little bit more of a romance with a twist, and I didn't really care for the storyline as much as all of the extra stuff, I guess, without really giving it away. But pretty much it focuses on Christy for the first part, and she is trying to navigate life. She's having a really hard time with her love life and trying to find the right guy. I mean, I can appreciate it for this type of style that it is, but I loved all the extra stuff in it, like Christy's life as being a school counselor and hard things that she has went through that I actually related with quite a bit. And I'm really, more than anything, I'm really excited to kind of see, because although it focuses on Christy, you kind of get a glimpse into all the other girls too, and I'm really excited to see like how all of their stories unfold in the next 5 parts. So part 2, I enjoyed, I would say probably evenly with the first part. Part 2 is Scarlet, and my first time reading it was this year. I actually read Christy, like I said, a year or 2 ago. I guess it was about 2 years ago now, which is crazy to think about, but I kind of needed a refresh, and like I said, they're a pretty light, easy read to, get through, so I did just recently read Christy again. I never even wrote like a blog post or anything on this book, so I did reread that, and then jumped straight into Scarlet, the part 2, right afterwards, and we get more of Scarlet's story, which I felt like maybe it's because I didn't relate with it very well, or didn't relate with Scarlet very well, that I had a kind of a hard time focusing in on the story, where some of Christy's aspects of life or things she's went through I related with a lot more, or some of the things she dealt with I could relate with a little bit more. I also think I preferred Christy's like character a little bit more. But I feel like if you're Scarlet out there, you'd probably really enjoy this one more. But it kind of talks, like about her life, explains her story. And in the end, I felt like her story was pretty predictable. So that's probably why I didn't maybe enjoy it as much as I hoped I would. But I still think it's an intriguing series. And I, at first, didn't really care for the way she wrapped up these stories. It literally just ends, and it's kind of just like you're wanting to turn the page and continue reading, and she kind of leaves it just hanging there on purpose because it's supposed to automatically jump to the next girl, and it's when this jumps to the next book, it's still like at the same time as the last book. So it is kind of cool at the same time, and I'm really excited for Samantha. I've always really enjoyed her content, and this is my first time reading any books from her as well, so I'm excited to see where it goes. She just released the 3rd part, Lauren, so I'm excited to get my hands on it. I need to download it soon. It's on the list. But I mean, it's a cute little series. I feel like if anything, it's kind of like reading a YA series, but it does have some adult content to it at the same time. So it's that vibe though. So the only book club that I'm currently following, as of now anyways, is the Levon Book Club. It is the lifestyle brand that I mentioned earlier, fashion and lifestyle. They created this calf wrap that I'm wearing and love. But I do work with them, and they're amazing ladies. But we have a book club now, and our read for January was Feeding the Soul by Tabitha Brown. It is a nonfiction, motivational, inspirational book. It does have a lot of personal stories in it that she kind of turns into a way to motivate you in your life, and what you can take from her story to put with yours, and how you can work through some issues. Overall, it's supposed to help you find a way to get to your joy and love and freedom in life. And to keep in mind, it is very spiritual. And she does talk about her spirituality quite a bit in the book. I did find it very, very entertaining and uplifting, and I love the way she tells stories. I can only imagine like what it would be like, sitting in person with her and her telling you a story of her childhood or of a certain family member, and I absolutely adored reading her story and where she came from, and how it was kind of known like she was just like a social media success just overnight, when really she put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into what is now her career. And she also talks about her journey of becoming vegan And she actually opened up, I think, like 3 different vegan restaurant locations in Chicago, LA, and New York City. And I just think it's awesome. I would love to check out her restaurant one of these days. I did make a couple of her recipes because she sprinkles in a little bit of her vegan recipes into the book as well. And I made like a mushroom pasta. I made her tuna salad, which was made out of chickpeas. I love chickpeas. And also her pico avocados, and they were all so, so good. So I definitely want to try some more of her recipes from the book as well. But yeah, overall, it was a really good read. And then for the month of February, we kind of wanted to stick with the vibe of Valentine's, but at the same time, our main focus this month was, of course, Black History Month. So we decided on the book Sugar, and I have just started this book very recently. I had so many books that I was in the middle of reading, so I'm a little late to the game, but I think it's going to be like a weekender book for me. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's supposed to be, from what I have seen from reviews, it's going to tug at the heartstrings a little bit, but it is about a life of a woman after she was a sex worker and how she is navigating life and healing, I think, from some bad experiences in that journey. So I'm really excited to read it, and I've heard amazing things about it. So that is our current read for February. So Sugar is my first current read. Jumping into the rest of the current reads I have going on, my long savory right now, I'm only, on my Kindle it says 20% of the way through, is The Invisible Life of Addie Larue, and this book blew up. People were going crazy about this book. I wanted to know what it was all about, and I have found myself in a story that is really hard for me to put down. Like, I've been reading it daily and just reading and reading and reading as much as I possibly can. I'm slacking on my journaling. It's that bad. Like, I'm pretty addicted to this book, and it's a longer, or not, I don't think it's too long. I don't really know. It's on my Kindle. So it's kind of hard to like show the thickness, but I have seen it in a store before, and it did look rather thick. So there's a lot of chapters in it as well, so I think it's going to be a longer read, and I was going to make it more of like a savory read, but like I said, I'm having a really hard time putting it down. My biggest thing is I keep just feeling so puzzled and confused about what's actually going on, and then it starts to slowly wrap together, and then she throws you a curveball again. You're like, all right, what's going on? But the storytelling is incredible. I've never read anything by V.E. Schwab, if that's how you say her name. I usually don't say the author's names because I butcher them, but I'll make sure I always list them for you guys. But her storytelling is incredible, and I'm lost in the book every single time I read it, and that's always what I look for when sitting down to read a book. So besides that, my current reads that I'm flipping through, because like I just finished quite a few of the ones that I've mentioned, and starting Sugar, The Invisible Life of Addie Larue. I haven't really started too many like other big reads right now, but I've picked up manga once again. I started One Piece last year, and I have ordered the next one of that series. I'm really excited about, but I have just fallen down a manga black hole at this point, and I can't get enough of it. So I have went back to some old favorites. Vampire Knight had this one, so I started reading on it again. So I'm currently working through it, and I ordered like the next couple parts of it because I knew I'd probably be through it pretty fast. I think I've read up until maybe the 5th one, but it was always like I got the other ones from like a library or something like that. This is the only one I own, so I'm excited to grow my collection of them. But I know the majority of the story because I have watched the anime, so I'm still really excited to own all of them and get back into reading them though. But besides that one, I am currently reading Tokyo Ghoul, and I was like, I don't really know what to expect with this one, but I have fallen in, and I am about, I think, like halfway through the first one now, and thankfully I picked up the second one while I was there. But I'm really, really enjoying it so far. It's very different than some of my past ones. I mean, I feel like it's kind of dark, kind of like Death Note, Bleach, that type of ordeal, but I'm really loving the storyline so far. It's very, very intriguing. I've been reading a lot. I'm currently reading quite a few, but my to-be-read list is hella long. But thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight, and I hope it was somewhat interesting. Hopefully I get better at these set-down videos. I feel like I've just been rambling forever, so hopefully I can piece this together in a okay way for you guys to watch through. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening or day, wherever you're at, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Glass shattered, gums bleed out the fucking never clear eyes, red mind race, fucking wish that you were here. I was really